Hello guys, welcome back. If it's your first time, welcome here. I hope the next one, when I say welcome back, it's targeted towards you as well. So what I want to go over today is Avalanche, Avax, right? I want to give you guys entry points from the way I see it and a price prediction from the way I see it. And I want to talk a little bit about, well, really just details about there. There's a few ground rules I want to get there about where I'm coming from these price points, because you guys don't need to agree with me. Most of the time, you should not agree with me, right? Because we all have different goals, different amount of risk tolerance, what we're trying to get out of a specific crypto, let alone all of crypto, is going to be different. But with that being said, I feel like I need to tell you guys a little bit before I get right into there. I will give the price prediction about halfway through, at least I plan to, as opposed to at the end, because for the way I'm doing this, I think you guys should know ahead of time so we get a mindset option of where I'm coming from with everything. So that's pretty much the intro. Let's talk about Avalanche. So Avax is a crypto I do not own, right? So I'll start right there. I'm going to do a lot of these entry point videos, or I plan to, with price predictions as time goes on. Some of them will be the crypto I own. Some of them will be crypto I don't own, but I like. Avalanche is in that category because I might still buy Avalanche later, specifically taking profits from one crypto, moving it into another one that hasn't really launched yet or hasn't gone as far as I think that it should or could have. I see a lot of extra room, however you want to phrase it. And Avalanche is on that. It's on that list for me. Like, I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm also willing to do this for other crypto. So if you want me to do a price entry / prediction video for crypto viewers, put it down in the comments down below. I am more likely to do one that I'm more familiar with. So that way I don't feel like I'm just making shit up. Right, guys? So with Avalanche, it hasn't really boomed yet, right? Compared to a lot of the other layer ones, it's greatly underperforming. And I'll actually say underperforming or say that it's undervalued, which we hear that all the time in crypto, right? This crypto is undervalued. This one's undervalued. It should be 30x. Why? Other than that we want it to, right? Like, I can tell you all of my crypto by those standards, they're all undervalued by 50x. Because I want them to go up higher. All right, but Avalanche is actually bringing a lot of money in. Take a look at the TVL. Look at what they have. And that's also part of the problem, or the glorious part of why Avalanche hasn't really shot up yet. It is kind of like the gaming crypto layer one, right? I understand there's non-gaming on Avalanche and there is gaming on others, but it is definitely where the majority are, and Avalanche, the majority of the crypto, are gaming. So last cycle, gaming kind of exploded near the end of the cycle, and that might just repeat right now, which is kind of why I'm keeping an eye on Avalanche, because if one of my other crypto blasts up again, kind of like how everything did last week, ooh boy, I'm moving profits, and Avalanche is on my list. So when I pull up the chart in a little bit, when I look at entry points, I am coming from my opinion. So obviously not financial advice, but I want you guys to know where I'm coming from. And because great entry points, or the best entry point for you, a lot of times comes down to just a few factors, right? Is how high do you think the crypto is going to go? And where are you getting your entry point at? How much are you willing to risk missing it, right? Meaning maybe something's at $25 and you think it's going to go to 300. Maybe you should just buy the damn thing. Or if it's $25, like, you know what? I don't need this crypto, but if it drops down to 18, I'm willing to buy it. Okay. We all have a different level of risk and desire for certain cryptos. So do realize that that's where a lot of the differentiation between you and me are going to come from. And I'm not going to pull out the TA, all the specifics, and check out all the fib levels and double handles and blah, 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 because that's a lot more to me for day trading. And I'm looking at more for, if it happens in a day, awesome. But I'm looking more of buying and holding for days to weeks, right? Until it hits a certain price range. I've done swing trading with certain crypto, and that's done me quite well, this method. So that's the perspective I am coming from. So let's hop in. Let's look at the chart a little bit. Got some lines in there and tell you where I would hop into Avalanche right now. Like if I was ready to move into Avalanche, where would I jump in or wait to jump in, willing to miss it, not willing, etc. Let's check it out. So the first thing I have to say is the current price of Avalanche, right? Because things move very quickly, guys, or they can move very quickly. So that's where some of the price points, depending on when you see this video, might be like, oh, it hasn't been there in weeks, or it hasn't gotten back up there in weeks. So it's a lot of the mindset and patterns of what I'm looking for. Again, this is not the most detailed shit out there, by the way, guys. I've done quite well swing trading and finding entries and exits from pretty basic stuff. I will say from my experience, when you're looking more on the hourly and the daily and you're sitting in front of the computer to do day trading, those, all the TA technicals, again, the head and shoulders, inverted head and shoulders, handles, that stuff appears to make a much larger difference on the smaller the scale is. But when we're looking at something in weeks to months, in terms of when we get volatility in a bull run, I really haven't seen it make a huge impact. Right? That's my experience. Let me know in the comments down below about yours. So right now, Avalanche is floating around just above $25, which is great. This is, as you can see, one of the highest it's been in a couple of months. And I'm recording this currently on a Sunday, which does make a difference because crypto tend not to go up over the weekend. So if I was looking at getting into Avalanche right now, and actually, let me just throw you out what my price prediction for this thing is. So Avalanche, real quickly, on the very bearish side, let's say if it doesn't really pop up this cycle, I'm expecting about $75. I know if you look back, but in the last cycle, there were a lot less coins, right? And I am saying about on the bearish side, I think it's going to go past that, but I do want to say, okay, where would I look at minimal? 3x for me. And for a large layer one, okay, fine. You guys can yell and holler, but this is my thoughts on the bearish side. On the more, we'll call it realistic or the bullish aspect of it, I think this is going to be about 125 to 150, pretty much up there where it was before. But a lot of it really does depend on when gaming comes in. I think it's actually going to benefit it to wait, but that's a whole different story. But if I was looking at getting an Avalanche right now with my thought of it has likely about a 4 to 6x in it to where I would consider that safe to come in and out from, I would have no problems just throwing 25 down right now per share, to be completely honest. But if I want to go ahead and look at, well, what's a better entry that I'm willing to miss if it does not go back down? And I'm looking right here just below the $20 marker. I marked 1989. Again, that could be, that's a glorious year. Could be 1989, could be 20 point, and 2 cents. But the reason why I did this is I can zoom in, but it's an area where we had a lot of resistance and support. So just zooming in here on the 5 days is actually, you can see the lines I put up here higher pretty well. So I guess let's focus on this first. Of if you want a more safe route, but you don't want to pay 25, 23.68, so call it 23.75, 23.50 looks like a good spot to come in because we had quite a few spots where we bounced off right around the area, shot straight down, bounced off 23.19, and then came back to a resistance right on this line. So 23.75, give or take, seems to be a good entry to me if I wanted to get in with some confidence and not risk missing out. If I'm like, do you know what? I think it's going to go down a lot further, or I'm okay if I miss it. An area to put a buy limit in is down here closer to just below or just above the $20 marker. Again, because we've seen several times of the history recently, that's just last 3 months, of having just above, it shot down, it recovered, had a quick little blip, and there was an area of support. Here looks like an area of support and resistance. We move in. And this does, when you're looking longer term, again, if you're day trading, this is very different. I wouldn't take my own thoughts on this whatsoever if I was going there by the hourly, 4 hour, or the day. But for long term, to hold for the end of the cycle, I think this is a good spot to get in. And if I had leftover cash right now that I didn't throw in last week, as I saw stuff start to move, this would be a good entry point, in my opinion, for me to get into. Again, dipped down and then shot up, went down past pretty quickly, came up and shot up. Is there a chance we go lower? Of course there is. So if you want to play that little bit of a risk of missing out, or your confidence going to go down there, honestly, leverage that shit on short. That way you can get paid on the way down and up. Obviously, more risky. But if you're confident on something or you're willing to take it, hey, you can make money in both directions. So that's where I'd be looking at for Avalanche. I think it's a great layer one. I think it's been underperforming. I think a lot of the RWA tokens, XRP, XLM, has taken a lot of the spotlight. And a lot of people just haven't jumped into gaming right now. I know me personally, I'm looking heavily at gaming as one of my trickle narratives, and taking profits, moving it in. I'm looking heavily into gaming to move profits into because it's been underperforming in general. And something like Avalanche, it's really hard for me to believe that it won't do well this cycle. So those are my thoughts about Avalanche. Let me know yours down below. Do you like my method? Do you hate my method? I'm curious. But also, if you disagree with me, please give me a little bit of feedback as to what you would do and why instead. Because a lot of times, maybe we're just arguing because we have very different goals. Like I said, I'm thrilled all day of the week to take a 3 to 5x, at least as an initial, because I love pulling out my initial investment, right? If I 3x something and I want to pull out a third of my tokens, take out my initial investment, I got 66% now. That is house money, can't lose. And you will never go broke by taking profits. So on that note, guys, I'll talk to you guys again soon. And if you found this at all interesting or useful, or you've been here a couple of times, a lot of you watch and don't subscribe, I'd appreciate it, but appreciate you all just being here regardless. So I'll talk to you guys all again soon. Peace.